Hey everybody, have you ever been out on a long distance vacation and wished you had brought your fishing gear but didn't know how you were going to pack it? I've got the answer for you on today's episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode I'm going to be going through this complete fishing kit sent to me by GoTure. First and foremost, I want to say thanks to them for sending this to me for my review. And when I talk about a fishing kit, I mean a real complete fishing kit. This kit contains a rod, a reel, fishing line, lures, some tools, everything that you need to go fishing. So first and foremost, I'm gonna open it up and show you what comes in here. Then I'm gonna unpackage everything and give you a detailed overview, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So let's get right to it. All right, let's dig into this kit, and I can tell you that there is a lot packed into this carrying case. So opening it up, you can see that they've jam-packed a lot of material in here. And first up, what you're going to see is this manual. And a lot of times you get these kits, these manuals aren't that helpful. I am pretty surprised at the quality of this manual. It outlines literally everything, how to rig things, what to use them for. Very, very handy. Next up, we've got this fishing lure kit, 66 pieces, includes some soft baits, some hard baits, some hooks, some sinkers, some lures, and some other accessories, and I'll go through that in a minute. Next up, you've got your fishing line to go onto your reel, and a lot of these kits, they come with relatively cheap light line. This is 31-pound braid, so I was pretty surprised by that. You've got the reel inside here. You've got a pair of scissors for cutting line. You've got a pair of multi-use pliers, including a split shot splitter, so you can do your split rings and split them. Got some bells, and you've got some fish grips here that you can use to grab your fish. And lastly, you've got the collapsible rod. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack all of this stuff and show you this stuff in detail. All right, so let's start going through the specifics here. First up, we've got the scissors, pretty basic. And for cutting line or cutting into packages, it's got a bit of a strange ergonomic handle that I find a little bit challenging, but not a big deal. Next up, we've got the pliers, and this one's got a little locking mechanism here to open them up. It also seems like it has a line cutter or even a wire cutter in the middle here if you wanted to cut a leader, for example. And then on the end, we've got the split ring splitter, and that's always very handy if you need to be changing out hooks while you're out in the lake and you need to open up those split rings. You can lock it back up again. We've got the fish grips, and these are the smaller version. Now these do seem to have a pretty good spring in there, so I don't think they would open up. I do prefer the ones that are plastic with the wider lip, just because I think it hurts the fish less. But if you're using it on smaller fish, this is not a problem. Or if you're keeping fish, this is not a problem, because you it doesn't matter if you're going to injure them at that point. You've got the little bit of a tether here, so you can wrap it around your hand, and it just pull to open and then release to clamp. Next up, we got the bells that go on the end of your rod. I didn't open these up. These are pretty standard. I mostly use these myself for ice fishing, but if you were doing some bank fishing and you had your rod stationary on the edge of a bank or in a rod holder, these are also handy as a strike indicator. Next up, we've got our line, and as I already mentioned, I was surprised by this 31-pound braided line, and there is 164 yards of that, which should fit onto the reel, so you've got enough to spool your reel. Speaking of which, we've got the reel itself. This is a 3000 series reel, and all metal construction, 5.2 to 1 gear ratio. You got your drag settings on the front here, and It is a reversible handle, so when I opened it up in the package, this handle was on the other side. You simply unscrew this and you can move it to the other side, and so I want it on the right hand side. Seems like a pretty sturdy made reel and heavy duty to be able to have the capacity to have your braided line, and that goes along well with the rod that I chose. Here's that rod. This is an 8-foot heavy rod, collapsible, obviously for travel. One of the things I like about this is this eyelet protector on the end that protects your the portion of your rod that's collapsible. I've had other brands where they come with just a little small rubber piece or plastic piece that goes over just the very end. This one covers all of the eyelets, which is great. So you're not going to have any deformity or any damage that's going on there. And to remove this, you simply just pop this off, and off it comes, and then you can extend your rod. As I said, there it is, 8-foot or 2.4 meter rod, and this is a heavy action rod. All right, last but certainly not least, we've got the fishing lure kit, and as I said before, there's quite a bit jammed in here. When we open it up, first thing you'll see are these hooks. You've got a package of number 1 and number 2 hooks. I'll go through the rest of the lures first. On this left hand side, you've actually got some saltwater lures. So there's a couple of shrimp in here. Not something I would typically use here, although I do suppose they look a lot like crayfish, so you could mimic those. At the other end here, you've got crankbait and a jerkbait. I love this one in the chartreuse. That is going to be hot, and I'm going to be using that for sure very soon. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. You got another jerkbait here in a shad pattern, also pretty effective, I think, here for the type of fishing I do. And you got a series of soft plastics in a variety of different colors, and again, many of these quite useful for fishing here for both pike and walleye. And you can rig those on the jigs that are provided right next to it. Right here, you've got a number of different jig styles. Some with these, I like these ones with the fish head on them. But you've got other standard jigs, including some just standard lead jigs, and then some painted ones. Below that is a spoon, small spoon in a perch pattern. This would be very effective around here as well for walleye and trout. And then the last thing you've got in here are some line stops, some bobber stops, some snap swivels, some weights, both bullet weights, and a variety of different swivel types. So there's a few accessories there to add on to what you have. The only thing that's missing in here from my perspective as a pike fisherman is there is not a leader in here, and so you would need to have a steel leader, but that is a small criticism because you do get quite a bit jammed into this little tackle box. And unlike some other companies I've seen, you know, as an example, this crankbait, it's got rattles in it. It seems to be pretty well made. I can't speak to the hooks yet. They're sharp, but to the quality of the hooks, that remains to be seen and needs to be tested. But this is a nice bait, and so I think you're getting some decent fishing tackle that you can have to start out a little travel kit for a variety of different species. All right, everybody. So that's everything that comes in this kit, and as you can see, it's a complete kit that you can use to basically go out and go fishing. And in fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. On the next episode of Angling Spiders, I'm going to be taking this kit out to one of my local lakes, and I'm going to use only what's in here to see if I can catch a fish. So I'm going to get to some real world testing pretty quick. If you are interested in picking up one of these GoTure kits, you can either go to their website directly, or you can find these on shopping sites like Amazon. Just this morning I went and looked up this exact kit that they sent me on Amazon, and it is currently listed for $87 Canadian, which is about $64 US in current currency. You got to admit that for a pack that includes all of this stuff, that is an absolutely exceptional deal. So I am really looking forward to getting out and giving this thing a test, because if it works, this is going to be my go-to kit for when I travel and want to go fishing. Thanks everybody for watching this one. Thanks again to GoTure for sending me this kit for my review. And I look forward to getting out and testing it very soon. If you like videos like this, if you like this content, please make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe. And until next time, everybody, good fishing.